Um, Hello there. Thanks again for tuning into my channel, and I hope I can be of help with you in your selling career. I'm basically doing this short video for anybody really that's involved in sales and who might even just be starting in sales and who needs just a little bit of guidance. I know when I started in sales, I found it very difficult, even though I am a people person, if you like. I still found it very difficult, and it was because obviously I had no idea at the time what I was doing, what I had to say. I was basically, I was in the wrong place, and I had no information. That was the gist. That's the gist of it. This video really is aimed at anyone that's really, looking to improve um, their sales. Obviously, hopefully it will help them get more sales and help them close the sale. Basically, it should help you in some way. If you're a person that has to go into a house and you're sitting there doing a demonstration of something, hopefully I can help you and obviously help you earn more money, because that's why you're there at the end of the day. If I give you just a short insight into how I started, I got involved in double glazing about 20 years ago, and I've always earned good money at it. I ain't gonna lie, I've earned good money. I've had good days, I've had bad days, but I've always earned good money. So this is for anyone, like I say, anyone that's going into people's houses. Um, you know, how to be, how to act. This is what this video is about. Um, if I if I start with what I do, when I go into someone's house, I'm assuming that the company that you work for have given you a lead, and you've knocked on the door, and the customers come to the door, and they've gone, oh hi, and then you obviously introduce yourself. First thing, first impressions, they've got to see you, and you've got to have a smile on your face. You've got to say hello, thanks for inviting us round. I'm Colin. I would say I'm Colin from whatever window company I happen to be working with. Um, you know, I'm obviously here to give you obviously here to arrange a free quotation for you. And these people, they will then invite you into their home. Now, that's a big thing you've got to remember. These people that you don't know them from Adam, you've gone round there, they don't know who you are, what you represent, whether what sort of person you are, but they've invited you into their home. So, you need to, don't be false about it, but you have to say thanks for inviting us round. Like, we're more than happy to help you, obviously arrange a quote for you. Be genuine about it. Now, you then obviously, ask them, where should we start? Where can I put my case? You put your case down. Or lately, when I've been going to the people's houses, I don't even take a case. Lose the case, because you want to get away from that. I'm here to sell you something. Yeah, you're there to give them, as far as they're concerned, you're there to give them a quote. That is why you're there. You ain't there to sell them anything. They don't want to buy. All they want to do is get an estimate. So that's why you're there. Sometimes the first thing the guys say to you is, I ain't buying anything today. And you say, well, that's okay. I'm just here to give you a quote. So, basically, say to them, where should we start? And you start, obviously sit down. If they offer you a cup of tea, always say yes, because the longer you're my experience has been, the longer you're in that house, the more chance more chance you've got of making a sale. People will buy you. If they like you, and they like your product, and they like the price, in my experience, 1 out of 2, possibly sometimes 1 out of 3 times they'll buy. Yeah. Now, selling's all about getting information. The first thing I used to say to them is, what made you invite us round? What was the reason for ringing us? They might say, oh, I spoke to somebody in a store, or I met someone in the street, or I received a leaflet. Or they might sometimes turn around and say, actually, my friend has had your windows. Now, straight away, you've that's important. Yeah, that's important. You've got a bit of information there which you need to, hold for another half hour, 45 minutes down the line. Yeah. You then say to them, okay, I just want to, understand what prompted you to invite us. Could have been an internet lead, but now you know. I would then say to them, what prompted you to get a quote? Are your windows that bad? And they might turn around and say, oh, in all honesty, my neighbours just had double glazing and my windows are no good, and we need to get them done. They might have a security issue. The guy might be worrying that perhaps he goes to work different hours to his wife, and he's worried that she's there in the day on her own, or the other way round. So it could be a security issue. But selling's all about finding out the reasons. Yeah, everybody wants it. Everybody wants new windows. Everybody wants a nice new car. It doesn't matter what you're selling. You need to find out that person's why. Yeah, that person's why. If their desire is big enough, if you can remind them of their desire, if that desire it can be made big in their mind at that time, then you will stand more chance of getting a sale. Yeah. So you need to build on, why you're there. Tell them about the company you're working from. What's good about your company. Don't just, I've had mates of mine who do different things. I had a friend once, he was a block paver, and he just used to walk in the house. He'd walk out in the geezer's, he'd walk out in the guy's garden. He'd measure the, he'd measure the drive, and he'd give the guy a price, and he'd be there like 5 minutes. That person's not going to buy in 5 minutes. No way. No way is that person going to go from thinking about it to buying that product in 5 minutes. You haven't got to sit in the guy's house for 3 hours, but you need to spend more time with that person. That person needs to be able to feel comfortable with you. You're asking him for money. You're asking him for, potentially £8,000, £10,000 worth of like double glazing or whatever it is you're selling. That person's not going to do it on a whim. Yeah, so you need to, when you're in the house, you need to sell yourself first. Yeah, tell him about yourself. If the guy says where you're from, spend the time. I live around the corner. Or if he mentions that he plays football, is he a supporter? What team does he support? Try and find a common interest. So just to recap, yeah, you're looking at, you're introducing yourself, you're thanking the person for letting you into their property, yeah. You're asking, where can you sit? Is it okay if I sit here? Yeah, that's fine. Thank them, and then find out their why. You must find out their why. Their reasons, security. Their windows are freezing. There's letting in freezing cold. There's drafts. Yeah, whatever the reason, find out their why. Once you've done that, you need to, obviously, what I used to do is go into who I work for and the reason they should buy, not buy, don't ever use that word, but the reason they should look at our company. What is good about me. What is good about my company. It could be like, we offer a brilliant window. It could be internally beaded. It could be a very high quality profile. Could be a good sealed unit. Without, I ain't going to go into the nitty gritty of your window, but what's good about your product? You need to list them products. What's good? It does this, it does that, it does this, right? And tell them about the benefits. What is the benefit to them? Yeah, it might have multi-point locking mechanism, yeah? Well, that's all boring. What does that mean? Multi-point. Tell them it locks in one, two, three, locks in the corners. Why is this good? If someone tries to open the window, they're not going to be able to force your window open. That is a reason for them to look at you and consider your company. Yeah? You need to tell them the benefits. Don't just tell them about what your window is and what it does. You need to tell them how it's going to benefit them. All you're doing is you're just giving them more and more and more reasons to buy from you. Yeah, the guy that went in before you could be the second person in the house. If the guy that went in before you, and I know somebody who does this, just goes in and measures the windows and says, we can do all these windows for £2,500. right? But then you walk in there 10 minutes later, and you're going on all about what the company is, what they do, what you do, how the windows are installed, when they're fixed, they fixed in 6 positions. The actual window when it's installed, we use our own fitters. We don't subcontract. All these different things, they're all little ticks. All you're doing is ticking, tick, tick, tick. Reason to buy, reason to buy, reason to buy, reason to buy. And all your reasons to buy have got to outweigh that big pile of money on the right hand side. I'm just going to pause my video. Just going to sorry about that. Yeah, you've got to give them reasons to buy. What is their reasons to buy? And you have to make as many reasons as possible. Yeah, for them to actually make a commitment to you. Yeah, so you have to keep doing loads and loads and loads and loads of ticks. The more ticks you get, tick, 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 the more chances you are of them actually making an order. Yeah, so you really need to pile it on. Don't drive them crazy, but pile on the reasons why. Yeah, you have to pile on the reasons why, and then all the time you're doing this, you're creating um, a bigger desire in their mind. You're creating a bigger desire in their mind. You could compare selling a window to going on to a date, with a new girl, somebody new in your life. All you're doing is initially you're selling you. Why should this person buy from you? Why should this girl see you again? It's absolutely no different. You're selling yourself. If that person likes you and you've built up that rapport, right, then you are heading so much, much nearer to that sale. You know, thank them for being there. You're going over what's good about your product. You're telling them all about your company. And you're steering them in the right direction. Now, there's going to come a time towards the end, towards the close, and this is the bit when I first started that I didn't like. Yeah, because you've been nice, everyone's being nice to each other, and then all of a sudden it gets to the nitty gritty, and the nitty gritty is the money, right? If you've done everything right, and you get to the end and your price is a good price, there's no reason why that person won't give you the order. But you need to overcome, um, you need to obviously overcome all the objections. You need to find out all the reasons why he's doing this before. Because when it gets to the end, and you turn around and say to him, well, Mr. Jones, um, I'm going to give you the price now. This is the price. We're going to supply and install, an A-rated frame. It's a proper window. We're a fencer registered company. It's a good product. We're going to supply and install, take away all your rubbish, and leave your house looking supreme. And we're going to do all that for £5,700. Right? That's what you do. You give him the price, and then the next thing you do is, which was always difficult for me, is you shut up. Yeah, you must shut up, because whoever speaks first loses. Yeah, it might be uncomfortable. I've been in houses and it's very, very uncomfortable when people start talking about money. But you need to shut up. That person just might turn around and say, yeah, yeah, we're going to proceed. We're going to proceed, which is great. I've sat in houses and earned big money. I've sat in houses and earned £100 out of a deal before, but that's life. You're going to make more or money, you're going to lose some or another. It doesn't matter. But if that person says yes, then obviously you get the paperwork, and don't look at him. You just get the paperwork out and you start writing name. Some people, I used to do it as I went along. depends what, depends how you, different things work for different people, but, you know, just start writing. Don't, you know, just start writing. Don't look at him, just write, yeah? Now, 9 out of 10 times though, he's gonna say, I want to think about it. I want to think about it. And that's fine because you don't want to come across pushy. Yeah, you don't want to come across pushy because no one, the days of pushy salesmen are over. And they're only going to cancel. If you push people for an order, they're only going to cancel anyway. What's the point? You've got to do all that paperwork and they're not. You need to know that if you do get that deal, it ain't going to cancel. I think I've only ever had two cancellations in my life. Yeah, which is pretty good. Yeah, and you need to just steer people in the right direction, be fair, and then when you give them the price, wait and see what they say. If he says, I want to think about it, or there's a couple there and they say, well, yeah, Colin, we're really pleased with, we like it. We just want to think about it. What I used to say, look, I understand, I appreciate, you obviously want to think about it, but just so I know I've done my job properly, and I'd be getting in trouble if I didn't. Can I ask you, are you happy? If the price obviously was to your liking, if you like, if it was within your budget and everything, um, um, would would that be something? Would you be happy to go with us? You'd obviously like me, and they'd say, oh yeah, we're happy with what you. Can I ask you, are you happy with what we've shown? Yeah, we're more than happy. So you like, obviously, it doesn't matter if you like me, but you can make a joke of it. But you like the company, you like the window. Um, you basically would like to deal with us, but obviously the price. Am I right in thinking that it's a little bit more than what you thought? Now they're going to turn around and say one or two things. They're going to turn around and say, do you know what? You're the first person in the house, and we've decided we're not going to buy on the night. We're going to get another quote. Or he might turn around and say, do you know what? It's a bit more than what I thought. And I used to say, do you know what? I understand. We are a little bit. Usually we're not the cheapest, but we are the best. Yeah, I'm guessing, and I'd say to them, Mr. Jones, you know, I don't know who you've had round here before me. You might have had they might have had a small company around there, a small wobbly, what I call wobbly company around there, and the geezer's giving him a price, but he ain't really done his job properly. He ain't done a good demonstration. He ain't gone through all what you can offer him, the finance you can offer him. He hasn't done his job properly. But the guy in his mind, he's just a little bit. He's hesitant. Let's face it, wouldn't you be? If you were going to part with £6,000, it's hard, isn't it? Signing that piece of paper, it's difficult, and you've got to help him. You're doing him a disservice, if you like, if you don't help him make a decision, because he wants to buy your windows or your products. That's why you're there. He just needs help. Yeah. So what I used to say to people, if the guy turns around and says to you, do you know what? It is really cold, Colin. If I'm honest about it, it's a little bit more than what more than what I thought. Then I would turn around and say, I'm glad you told me that. This is what I used to say. I used to say, I'm glad you told me that, and you're being straight with me, because if you're being straight with me, and I'm going to be straight with you, I'll always try and do something for you. Yeah. I would always act like I was quite high up in the company, even if I was only a salesman. I would always, not lie, but you've got to help them. Sales is all about making people believe that they're getting something that you can offer at a good price. It all comes down to price at the end of the day. Price and affordability, you and the products. Yeah. So what I would say to him, I would always often used to turn and say, thanks for telling me that, because now obviously I might be at a try and sort something, try and do something for you. And there's all different ways, closes that you could go into that, which is beyond this video if you like, but different ways that you can steer your close. But the general rule I used to say to people, I'm glad you told me that. be straight with me. Are we miles apart? That's what I used to say to them. I used to turn around and say, look, just be straight with me. Are we miles apart? Because if you quoted him 6 grand and the guy turns around and he's had a quote for 3.5 grand, right, and he wants you to do it for 3.5 grand, but you or me in my case can only earn money if I can sell it for 5. Well, you got to be honest with yourself. You're in the wrong house. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with accepting that you happen to be in the wrong house, because this guy, he's not in the market for your windows at your price. Yeah, it's no different to going to a restaurant. You look at a menu. Some restaurants you look at it and it's 80. You go and you buy like, it could be like a set meal for one person. It's 60 quid, and you go into another restaurant and the set meal's 25 quid. Well, I know me, I'm not tight, but 25 quid's my limit. Do you know what I mean? So you look at it that way. If that guy says to you, do you know what? It's much more. It's much more than than obviously what I want to pay. Well, then the sensible thing is then, if he allows you to, is to start selling it again. Find out. You're searching. Find out who has he had round there. If he turns around and he tells you he's had what I call wobbly windows go round there, and they're a crap firm, no guarantee or the guarantee. You need to find this out, because then you need to say to him, without scaring him, you need to say to him, is that the sort of company you want to deal with? Would you sort of deal with a company like us that's been around longer, or are you happy dealing with a small firm? If he says, well, I'm moving in 3 years, or I'm moving in a couple of years' time, and I just, I just want to tidy the place up. Well, again, you're in the wrong house. This guy ain't worried about 5 years, 10 years down the line, when all his windows start popping and his units start going. He ain't worried, because he ain't going to be there. Yeah. So again, you're in the wrong house. Yeah. But if he says, well, no, I do intend, being here for some time, and I want good windows. I'd be straight with the bloke. I'd say, well, I'm sorry, mate. In fairness to us, we're at a different level. We're at the company you're mentioning. I don't bad mouthing them, but we're a higher level. We are a better company, a better window. We offer a better guarantee, and we're fence registered. Again, you start selling it again, and you try and get him up. And in my experience, 50-50. Sometimes people just won't move on price. They'll say, no, no, just, I'm not, if you can match that price, I'll do it for that. And then I would just turn and say, well, we can't do it for that. I'm sorry, we can't be of more help. And, you've obviously gone through the clothes, you've hit him, you've gone into it to try and, to get him, to actually get him to where you want to get to, but he won't have it. Then it's time to go. Accept defeat. It ain't the end of the world. There's other people that want windows, yeah. But what I'm trying to say is, do build it up. You've got to build it up. And then if he says to you, well, look, it's more money than what I thought, then say to him, how far apart are we? If you take nothing else from this video, like I say, I'm not the greatest salesman in the world. I hold my hands up. I've not, there's deals I haven't sold, there's deals I have sold. But if you go into someone's house and at the end of it, you get to the stage where it's just a price. You're over there and he's over there, and you've got to you've got to meet somewhere. You want to meet obviously over your side, but he's steering you that. You say to him, be straight with me, Mr. Jones or John, whatever you're talking to him. Say, look, just tell me one thing. How far apart are we? If you remember nothing else, remember that. Write it down. How far apart are we? And again, shut up. Don't say nothing. He might turn around and say, in all honesty, Colin, I like your product more, but I've had a quote from another firm and they're £800 cheaper than you. Right? Well, if that's the case, he said to him, look, Again, you've got to be careful because you don't want to jump straight in. Say, well, I don't think we'll be able to do it for that. I don't think we'll be able. We might be able to get somewhere near it. Am I right in thinking that we can get somewhere near it? We might be able to possibly have a deal. And he might say, well, you know, what are you thinking about? And then I'd get my diary. I'd say, look, are you serious about getting these windows done? Yeah, I want to get these. I do want to get them done. And then what I would do then, I'd get my diary out and say, look, I deal with a lot of the installations in the area. If you can, do you think, you obviously look at, you've already qualified that he wants to get it done soon because you need to close the doors. And he says, yeah, I do want to get it done. You say to him, look, I know when we started, you said you wanted to get this job done, like, in the next 2 or 3 months. I've got some dates here. And you get out your diary. These dates ain't got to be real dates. They're just dates in your diary. Yeah, you say, look, I've got some dates here. Do you think you could, if I could do something for you, do you think we might be able to fit you in? Do you think you might be able to accommodate us if we accommodate you and we could fit you in these dates? And if he says yes, you've got him. You've got him. Yeah, you've got hold of him. Because then you say to him, do you know what, John? Thank you. This is what I'm going to do for you. I'm going to do it for this price, and it's going to be fitted on this date, and you're going to be so happy with your windows, and we're going to be so happy with your order. Everyone's going to be happy, and hold your hand out, and again, shut up. If he's serious about buying windows, he's going to shake your hand. That's it. That is it. You've given him a reason to buy. He likes you, he likes your company, he likes your products, and he thinks he's getting it cheaper. Yeah? You might have been out done it for £4,000. Yeah? You're in sales. Tell him it's £5,000, but you can really do it for 4. And that's what you do. Sales, it's not misleading, but sales is all about, anyone tells you any different, sales, unfortunately, it's all about trickery. It's all about trickery, but trickery in a nice way. You're helping people make a decision, help that person make that decision, help him make the right decision because you'll be grateful for it. Your wife and your family will be grateful for it because when that commission check comes through the door and you've just earned another 600 quid, right? Because you've took the time to do your job properly. That is your reward. Yeah. Remember, when you go in that house, from the time you get there to the time you leave, you are on stage. You might as well be standing there with puppets in your hand because you are on stage. That person is looking at you. You are the person